And sometimes you speak like you're from a different time.
Wait, what was their first and last line? First impressions are everything, but last impressions can be just as important. Two simple sentences can tell us a lot about a character. They can encapsulate the character's journey, give us insight on their personality, or leave us intrigued. With 5 movies spanning over 10 hours in total, it can be hard to remember the exact lines characters say. From an echoed declaration of love to a snarky remark, let's hear the first and last lines of these beloved Twilight characters.
I'd never given much thought to how I would die, but dying in the place of someone I love seems like a good way to go.
Bella's first line states how she has never thought of her death, but how she would like to die with someone she loves.
Forever.
Her last line makes good on this sentiment, as she will now spend eternity with the one she loves, no longer having to think about death. It's a perfect sentiment to end the series on.
There must be something open. Physics, biochem.
When we first hear Edward speak, he is trying to switch out of biology class in order to get away from Bella. This is in direct contrast to his last line, which is an affirmation of Bella and his eternal love.
Forever.
This shows how far his relationship with Bella has come, from trying to get away to never wanting to leave Bella's side.
Hi, I'm Jacob. We used to make mud pies when we were little.
When Jacob meets Bella in the first movie, he reminds her of the time they used to spend together when they were younger. He does so with his usual charm and smile. We see the same charm and smile when he asks Edward a rather unusual question at the end of the second Breaking Dawn movie.
So should I start calling you Dad?
This line also shows how Edward went from a bitter enemy to Jacob to a friend he can joke around with. Alice is an extremely kind character who was one of the first Cullens to be really nice and welcoming with Bella.
Hi. Are you gonna be riding with us?
Her first line in Twilight shows just this, and she chipperly approaches Bella. Don't let this kindness fool you though, as Alice is an extremely strong character who grows in her role as a protector of her friends and family throughout the series.
I've been searching for witnesses of my own among the Tukuna tribes of Brazil.
We last hear her when she is trying to find witnesses for the Volturi meeting. Carlisle was always the level-headed healer of the group, trying to keep situations as peaceful as possible. This is echoed in his first and last appearances.
I heard the chief's daughter was here.
We first hear Carlisle speak when he is checking on Bella after the car incident, and his last line of this series is fittingly one that is speaking against violence.
Not today.
Rosalie starts off acting cold towards Bella, as she is afraid of the danger she puts them in.
Is she even Italian?
Her first line is a snappy remark about Bella's food preferences, but as they spend more time together, their bond becomes stronger than any of them could have imagined.
Carlisle needs you.
Her last line shows how she is now willing to risk her safety for Bella, as she is helping to recruit vampires to fight with them against the Volturi. Jasper was the newest vegetarian of the Cullen clan when we met him in Twilight, and his nervous delivery of his first line to Bella demonstrates that.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
While it is very tough for Jasper to push down his urge for human blood, he eventually comes to embrace and protect the lifestyle.
Their offensive weapons are too powerful. No one can stand against Jane.
The last time we hear him, he is in doubt of their abilities to fight the Volturi. Emmett was always nice to Bella, but he was never quite certain about different aspects about her.
Her name is Bella.
His first line shows that he is guessing she is Italian based on her name, uncertain if she actually is. And his last line indicates that he is unsure of her powers, as he doesn't want to risk getting painfully shocked.
I'm good.
Maybe he should take some time to get to know Bella better. Esme is the sweet, motherly figure of the group, and her first line is a perfect example of this, as she warmly speaks to Bella.
We're making Italiano for you.
She never changes her ways throughout the series, and is always kind no matter who she's talking to.
It's not a people person.
Her last line states that the vampire she recruited is not a people person, unlike her. Charlie is a man of few words, and we wouldn't exactly call him a wordsmith. His first and last lines perfectly encapsulate his character.
Your hair's longer.
They're both short, odd, and simple phrases said to a loved one. And oddly enough, both lines are 4 words long.
Woman knows her trout.
Sam's first and last lines show a complete 180 on his friendship with Bella.
She's all right.
His first line is delivered as he is carrying an unconscious Bella to safety, but by the end of the series, Sam is against Bella and the Cullens.
She and Jasper crossed our lands to the ocean last night.
His last line mentions how Alice and Jasper crossed his territory. Arrow is a power-hungry vampire obsessed with other vampires who have special abilities, and his first and last lines perfectly reflect this.
I'm afraid your particular gifts are too valuable to destroy.
His first line is to Edward, when he refuses to kill him because he is too valuable.
Such a prize.
His last line is in awe of Bella and Alice, as he suggests he isn't done hunting them down.
Well, I'm still dancing.
When we meet Billy Black, he has a friendly remark after Bella tells him he is looking good. He's with his son Jacob, which is fitting given how Billy is loyal to his family. He supports his son Jacob through and through, and his last line defends Jacob's actions.
I don't care what he's done. He's still my son.
Embry has lines that contrast one another and show the friendship he has with Jacob. When we first meet him, he teases Jacob about Bella not being his girlfriend.
Ooh, burn!
But come the fourth movie, Embry is now the one standing up for Jacob against the teasing of Paul.
What's up, Paul?
Victoria is evil and deceitful throughout her run.
What do you want?
Her first line is mocking one of her victims, while her last line is a cold lie.
You know I love you.
It's kind of ironic how her last line is an attempt to get Riley to help her and keep her alive, while her first line was mocking someone who was also trying to stay alive. James is an evil, cocky villain who never relents his ways.
Nice jacket.
We can see this in both his first and last lines.
You're alone, because you're faster than the others.
Which are both taunting someone. He has his words turned against him, however, for his last line, as Edward overpowers him and the Cullens defeat him. Maybe if he had a little more humility, he would still be alive. Bella's friend group doesn't get much screen time during the series, but they still leave an impression.
Smile. Okay, sorry, I needed a candid for the feature.
Angela is nice and friendly towards Bella right from the start.
Jess, she is not pregnant.
In the end, she is just as nice, as she rejects the rumor from Jessica that Bella is getting married because she is pregnant. Speaking of Jessica, she comes into the mix in a more passive-aggressive way.
She's got a great spike, huh?
She butts in when she sees Mike talking to Bella. Jessica is always shown to be jealous of Bella, and this continues right up to Jessica's final line, when she is delivering a speech at Bella and Edward's wedding.
Edward is all about Bella, even though she's not the captain of the volleyball team.
Despite the bitterness, though, their friendship endures.
I'm just kidding. Or the president of the student council.
Mike Newton takes a volleyball to the head for his entrance into the Twilight universe. He assures her it's no big deal that she hit him, and introduces himself to Bella.
Wait, no, that's don't. You're, Isabella, right?
Mike can be spotted at Bella's wedding in Breaking Dawn Part 1, checking out the Cullen girls.
What a gene pool.
Looks like he's still trying to get a girl after all this time. Bella's mother is very supportive, and Bella often turns to her for comfort.
Hey baby, so listen, if spring training goes well, we could be moving to Florida.
They talk on the phone in the first Twilight film, which is where Renée delivers her first line about possibly moving to Florida. Come the end of the series, Renée's last line to Bella is a simple yet powerful one.
I love you so much.
Jane is an extremely loyal foot soldier to Arrow, following him without question.
Arrow sent me to see what was taking so long.
Her first line is spoken when she is sent by Arrow to fetch Bella and Edward. This is when her rivalry with Bella begins, as we learn Bella is the perfect foil to Jane's torture abilities. It's fitting that her last line is the simple word she uses to torture people, even if it doesn't work as she planned.
Pain.
Leah is a Wolfpack member who has always been loyal to Jacob, and her first and last lines reflect this.
If you're here to torture Jacob some more, feel free to leave.
She is first heard making a snappy remark towards Bella about the effect she is having on him. The last time we hear her is after she deviated from Sam's Wolfpack and joined Jacob, when she makes a short exclamation in response to asking Sam to accept her back into the pack.
What?
Seth is a young member of the Wolfpack who looked up to Jacob. His lines are very similar to one another, and even both have him exclaiming Jacob's name, just with opposite tones.
Jake!
Hey.
It's about time you got here.
In his first line, we hear how excited he is to see his friend Jake. And in his last line, we hear how he's in despair that he may have to separate from him.
Jake!
Seth never wavered from his loyalty to Jacob. Renesmee's time in Twilight is short, really only appearing in the final Breaking Dawn film, but the time she does have is memorable.
Look, a snowflake.
The first spoken line she has comes partway through the movies, when she catches a snowflake and shows it to Bella.
Watch out!
Her last line actually comes in Alice's version of the big battle when she is riding with Jacob. This demonstrates how quickly she is growing, as she is already looking out for her friends.
You're Isabel Swan, the new girl. Hi, I'm Eric, the eyes and ears of this place.
Eric is the first friend to come in contact with Bella. He catches her in the hallway and introduces himself as the eyes and ears of the school. We see Eric is still friends with Bella by the end of the series, as we see him at Bella's wedding. He awkwardly reacts to Alice when she asks if the wedding decorations are too much.
No.
Not at all.
No.
When you compare a character's first and last lines, you really get a sense of how far they've come in their journey. You can spot all the subtle nuances that make you appreciate all the hard work that went into creating these characters. Who do you think had the best pair of first and last lines?